Like the compilation video. I always forget that that's a thing because I always like tune in. I'll turn the stream on like when you get started, and then this is one of the first times in a while that I've
We've
actually like had it going on in the background right when you start, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a
There
thing
we go.
that you did.
Great. Oh wait, are we good? Is everything fine? Is everything okay? I think we're fine. Yeah, we're good. Welcome everybody to the Renegade Realm podcast, episode 103. Oh boy, what a 103 it is! And man, we have one thing to talk about the entire show. And look, if you're new here, you clicked on the video and you're like, "What the hell?" Or "What in the Oblivion?" It's this is a weekly podcast. We go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's usually 4 of us. Holly is out this week, so it's me, DeMarco, and Assassin. And I need to change everyone's name. But thank you guys so much for being here. Really, really appreciate you taking time away from Oblivion to chat with us, hang out with us. Really appreciate it. And speaking of appreciation, I finally have channel members right here. So shout out to channel members: Cold Eastwood, American Fury, Hargi Chani, Barry Donnellan, Game Seeker, Highlander Grim, Fark You, That Blue Number, Talos Ray, Assassin, AEC Founder, Mr. Click, User for Games, Mr. Brhood, Nick Artistic, Mojave Mojo, and Jendit. Thank you guys so much for being channel members. It means everything. And I finally got emojis. So look at that. Got emojis. Got that. That only took me 4 hours to do because file incompatibility and all that stuff that no one cares about. It's great. I love it. But guys, thank you so much for being here. And oh, let me turn this on. You guys let me know how this sounds. Okay? You just tell me. I don't know how loud it is. I don't even know if you can hear it, but we'll see. Let me actually test it real quick. Okay? Just tell me. I don't know how loud it is. I don't even know if you can hear it, but we'll see. Is this good content, everyone? I don't know if it's working, but if not, it's fine. I can just turn on the here. Let me just turn it up. F it. And if that's too loud, tell me. Anyway, guys, we're gonna talk about this. Listen, you guys know who we are. We're not even gonna talk about what we've been into. This is the biggest news in a long time for a lot of us here. There you go. You're welcome. Jonas says, I swear I didn't lose myself in Oblivion and forgot the time. You're good, man. All right, so there is no introduction to this topic. The whole universe knows about what happened. Oblivion Remaster, or Oblivion, that's really loud. Oblivion Remake is what I'm still calling it. Shadow dropped. And what is I am saying this is like legendary. This is history. This is like the biggest Shadow drop, I think, in gaming history. It didn't need any marketing. It didn't need any. All it needed was a little leak. The internet was set completely on fire. And Bethesda just came out and just slammed their Bethesda D on the table and said, take it. And we did. I'm still taking it. So, oh my God. All right. So, let's just do this thing. Oh shit! Shout out real quick, BT Maverick. Thank you so much, bro. What the fudge? Thank you so much. Get to 5 channel memberships to yourself, which is great. To yourself, to Palpatine, Deathwish, Dre, Andrew Cullinane, Web Dave. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that, man. That's so nice.
How do you give a membership to yourself?
I don't know. He got chosen out of the it's Sheogorath.
Careful.
It's his magic. That's what's happening today. There you go. Yeah, spam the chat. I might change those up if I see some of them not being used. I tried to make them thematic to the show for all the things that I love, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So DeMarco, you're the biggest Oblivion fan here. Tell me, let's do it like this. How do you feel so far? Like, we don't have to get into the details just yet about the gameplay and stuff like that. How do you feel so far? Because you play, how many? You got 4 hours?
It is a faithful 3.4 hours at the moment. It is a faithful remaster of Oblivion, and I would say it is the second most definitive way to play the game.
Second most? You mean, is that what besides modding?
I think Skyblivion's going to top it in a lot of ways.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think that Skyblivion, for me, will genuinely make it peak because
You haven't even played it yet.
I know, but they've been very, very vocal with their developer diaries. I know the things they're adding to it, and the things that they're adding to it are the exact things that I'm missing with Skyblivion. And I am not a person who needs the most prettiest visuals possible. I am not a person who needs to have the most legendary combat system, because I'm going to be brutally honest. Maybe it's my hot take, maybe it's not. I don't know. Could be, could not be. But I think Skyrim's combat is good for what it is. I think Skyrim's combat is incredibly serviceable for the game, and I don't mind it as much as other people seem to mind it by a long shot.
How is that a hot take? It's perfectly fine.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, the combat's terrible. I feel like that's what I see most of the time. Maybe it's not a hot take.
I feel like more people complain about the progression more than the combat of Skyrim.
Red, yeah.
I'm trying to adjust it. I apologize. I've never done this thing that DeMarco does. Is that better, guys? I apologize if that was too loud.
Lower the Oblivion music in YouTube.
Okay, I think that's good. Tell me if that's okay, guys. I think I got it.
Oblivion music. Lower the Oblivion music in YouTube, or raise my volume.
Okay. Let's raise you up. There you go. All right, we should be good.
Right,
Chat, just keep putting it in there if it's too loud or whatnot, and I'll adjust it for you.
Raise me up more. But yeah, lower the music a bit more, Red, and then we'll be all set.
Red, it's gonna be a longer show because Jonas has shown up.
Oh yeah, this was planned.
No, it wasn't.
There we go.
Okay, so
okay, go ahead.
Anyway, maybe that's not a hot take. I feel like most of the time I see people like, oh, Bethesda's combat is not good. And I feel as though that's what I mostly see. So if it's not a hot take, then I'm happy that a lot of people actually like the combat. But I don't need it. I think in a lot of ways, Skyblivion will sort of fill all the needs. Now, that being said...
I love that.
Now, that being said, Oblivion... I think for anybody who's never played Oblivion before, especially for those on console who will never get to play Skyblivion, unfortunately, I think this is absolutely phenomenal. Virtuos knocked it out the park. They did a beautiful recreation of the game, and it's also apparently, which I think Assassin shared this earlier, the mods will function. People were pulling out the 2006 version of the creation kit. It might have been named something different, not the creation kit at the time.
No,
but they were able
creation
to...
kit.
It was back then too? Okay. So they were able to use the 2006 creation kit to start working on mods for Oblivion Remaster. So I don't know if this is a defining the future for all Bethesda game studios going forward. I think that's a massively important conversation to have, because it does, like, even I was streaming and then someone was like, okay, well, how, like, do the physics work the way that it's supposed to? Like, you know, how can Unreal handle if you just drop a bunch of stuff around and then just start, like, Fusro Da into the room? Can it process that? And arguably it could do it just as well, if not better. Like, I dropped I had maybe 50 lockpicks. I dropped them each individually. I dropped potion bottles, armor sets, shields, and potion ingredients, food, everything. Which in Oblivion, food is also alchemy ingredients, which is a nice thing. Because genuinely, in a lot of ways, Oblivion is better than Skyrim. In a lot of ways. Like, I saw a post today. Someone was like, dude, what the F? I can, like, hold a sword and a shield and cast a spell. Like, where was this in Skyrim? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
That is one of my biggest complaints about Skyrim.
Yeah,
is that
they
you need
were
to switch
very
to the other
focused
hand,
on the...
then
exactly.
cast a spell. Then go back to the... I'm upset that they pulled out. There's some little things in there that, like, only, I feel like, you know, fans who have played Oblivion for a long time would know. But, what is it? Yeah, they did a phenomenal recreation of it, and I think this is going to be exactly what most... Like, this is the way to experience Oblivion, I would say. Do not necessarily go back to 2006 Oblivion. But I will say,
when you say that we need to have a discussion about Bethesda using Creation Engine with a UE5 overlay.
Yes.
Is that the discussion you're thinking of? Because
I think that's
talked about that before, and you said might not do it.
I was convinced
today,
they wouldn't.
Do you think that's a possibility now?
Mm-hmm.
And should they do it?
Depends. Honestly, it depends, because I think that when you look at... let's get everybody else's general thoughts first before, like, put a pin in that for sure, because I have a lot to say there. But what I will say is the only thing I disagree with a lot of people on is that this is a remaster, not a remake. And I will die on that hill. This is not a remake. I don't care that the combat's different. I don't care that the animations and that there's new voice lines. This is a remaster, not a remake. And I'm very adamant about that. But it's a great remaster.
Okay, and I guess we can talk about that too. Well, first of all, Jonas, look at you. I don't know how people make themselves in games look so much like themselves. I'm not good at it. Like, I make the version of me that I'm like, that's what I would look like in this world. It doesn't necessarily look like me. It has, like, nose. Look at that pizza. Man, that would fuck me up. God, I miss pizza. So, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah, your character looks just like you. That's insane, by the way.
I don't know about that. It's close enough, I would say.
Like, I look at that and go, that looks like Jonas. I'm not saying that looks exactly like Jonas.
No.
Jonas, if I didn't know any better, it looks like you got a remaster.
Well, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
guess.
Yeah. Let me. How do you feel so far, Jonas? You've only been.
I haven't.
You're probably still in the. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still in the sewer. I just got around to it. There's some quirks that I know are just like, this will be ironed out, or we will get the options later, or modders will fix it.
Yeah.
But it's like there's some things that are like, oh, that just kind of annoys me. But that's because I love this so much, and I want it to be the best it can be. And overall, it's absolutely great. But I think both me and DeMarco have a lot of, opinions in common when it comes to certain quirks about the design choices and some stuff that, I definitely want to see some options to be able to adjust. Like some of the UI, I feel like is like a bit, thumbs up from DeMarco there. Some of the UI, I would like to either turn off or see some options to adjust how they look, because I'm not a fan of the direction they took it in. I also do not like how the objects you can interact with have a white highlight stroke around them whenever you get close, and it's like, look at this item, you can pick it up. Look at this outline. It's like, I approached it with because I knew I expected I could pick it up. I didn't need the highlight.
I don't need that. Have you before? Real quick, sorry. Please tell me it does not do it with doors.
No.
Good. Okay. That would have been awful. Okay. Yeah.
Because the doors have the only thing you need to get the information that this is something you can interact with. It has the
icon.
Press this button. Yeah. It's like,
right.
That's all you need, and you don't need all of the quirky animations for when you pick up stuff. Like, just have it disappear. Like, it's I know it's not a big thing, but the thing is, like, it takes me out of the
feel cartoony.
Yeah, it feels cartoony, and it sort of takes me out of the experience. Like, it sort of lessens the immersion more so than Skyrim did, when you just picked it up and it was gone, basically, or it was sort of lessened the amount on the bush or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All of the extra flair and animation and stuff, and the highlights. It just makes it more gamey and more. It's like.
Childish.
Yeah. It sort
I
of
said
reminds
like a
you that
Disney
you're
movie,
playing
like
a game.
Pixar. Yeah, it's kind of what
Yeah.
it reminds me of.
Which it reminds me of. What it reminds me of actually is Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Hogwarts
Like
Legacy,
very, yeah, yeah.
You'd roam around the world, and then you would get some
The
ingredients or
mushrooms
whatever. You'd
dance
find
as
things,
you pick them up.
and then they'd be like, and it makes
Yeah.
a silly sound effect like,
Yeah.
as they float into the air.
Exactly.
And like it's like, okay, well this is Harry Potter and it's Hogwarts and it's magic and maybe like whatever. Okay,
Sure.
fine. But now I'm playing this RPG where there's demons invading the world, and yeah, it's like beautiful and vibrant and colorful. But it's cartoony and it's out of place.
Right, exactly.
And that's an interesting thing, Jonas. Like it's less immersive than if you just click it and then it disappears.
Exactly. And to address BG Maverick, no, you can't turn off the highlight in the options as of now, and that's one of the things I really do hope they give the option for.
I
Another
agree.
thing that really bothered me.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna finish that one.
No, go ahead.
The other thing that bothered me that I just mentioned to Red in chat when we chatted was that I'm playing a mouse and keyboard, and
Yeah.
there is a very big limitation on key like rebinding your keys, and
Yeah.
because I'm used to playing Skyrim and I'm used to I'm in the menus and I'm selecting things, or I'm in the dialogue and I'm selecting dialogue options. I just press E because that's the interact button.
Mhm.
Like I can't remap that, and it's not E. I have to use Enter, and it's so annoying.
Which
It's
I
like
think is
all
not
the way.
Oblivion.
I know, but it's like
But
it
you
just
could remap it in Oblivion, I believe. So
This
yes,
is always,
probably, and it's like, well, if that's supposed to be like, okay, it's authentic, it's supposed to be Enter, well, then don't do the highlights around the objects.
yeah.
Be authentic.
Yeah, and I think this is something Ubisoft is notorious for this, or infamous for. It's one of those things that they have always had to patch in. Like they're like, hey, you can remap whatever you want, but not exactly. Like things will sort of conflict with each other. So hopefully that they
You could
patch
remap
that
it,
in.
but only the way we want you to remap
That's
it.
exactly. So yeah, dude. Like I was like, I want to make the map button the select button, and whenever I press select, nothing happens. If I press start
I know,
to remap,
yeah.
it's like no. If you you press start, you want start to be a button? No, that just takes you out of the menu. I'm like, well, fuck, don't tell me that I can remap anything. And of course, I am very eclectic in my bindings. Like I do shit like I want the right bumper to be interact button. I want my back left pedal to be jump. I want my right I'm weird. I want the clicking in the right stick to be sneak. I've pretty much got it all down to where it's okay now, because again, DeMarco, you can use spells whenever the hell you want. And I was like, shit, I forgot about that. That means I'm gonna need my right stick free.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't just make my spell button like a face button, like A or something, because then I'm just going to miss. It's just not going to work. So I'm like, shit. So yeah, I spent like 25 minutes in the remap menu trying to get that to work. And guys in chat, we love, I'm sure that I could speak for everyone. We love that it exists. We love it. I love it so far. And I'm only like an hour and a half
That's
in or
the
whatever.
thing, right?
But
We're
because
criticizing
we
it so
love
much
it-
because we love it.
Exactly.
Well, no,
Like
but
we
that's
had to
the
get that
thing,
stuff
you're
out of the
sitting
way.
here- we're complaining. We're complaining about, but think about the things you're complaining because the mushrooms make a silly animation when you pick them. Like, there are so many more things that a bad game you would be critical of.
Oh yeah.
Not the mushrooms are animated when I pluck them off the ground. So it goes to show you the quality of the remaster. And a lot of these things, like the rebinding issues, like turning off the highlighting, they're not going to swap out, you're always, unless modders fix it, the animations for picking ingredients will always be there. I don't think they'll have an option to turn that off. I actually missed, in Oblivion, when you picked ingredients, you had a percentage chance, and different ingredients had different percentage chance to successfully harvest them. And now you can just pick anything, which I was like,
That
oh,
was
okay.
yeah, that was also in Morrowind. It was something that they brought over into Oblivion. They made it more user friendly, but it was the same thing. In Morrowind, you would just walk up to like, a dragon's tongue or whatever, and you would like pick it, and it's like, nope, you didn't get anything. I'm like, how?
Nope, you pick it.
How did I not pick it? I picked it up, wanted to fucking disappear in my hands. It was just like the agility.
we rolled a dice and we decided that you were unable to pick
Yes.
the flower.
Everything was
I
is a dice
liked
roll.
it.
Yeah. I know it
kinda
made it
liked
more
it.
RPG, D&D type.
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess
so-
I would say hopefully they do fix like the remap. Well, I guess maybe it's just like the back, like 2 buttons for me are missing. Just trying to make that work, or just like I wish that more games would allow combinations or sequence settings. Like you have to hold the A button, so that way you can use the A button as an example for multiple things.
All right.
I would love that. Far Cry. What is it? Oh, I'm getting an echo. That's Assassin.
It's always assassin.
Far Cry
Sorry,
did
I
this
switched
amazing
my
thing.
microphones for some reason.
Far Cry did this amazing thing where you can remap. Again, Ubisoft. They've been doing really great about it for the past. Which Far Cry was it? What was the most recent Far Cry with? Was it Far Cry 6?
6?
6, yes. Was Giancarlo Esposito. You could remap
Yes.
and do whatever you want. They did exactly what I'm talking about, where you could have like X and A be your reload button or whatever. Starfield does the same thing actually. You can combine buttons to make you can just do whatever you want. And these are just nitpicks, but yeah. What else? Is there any other? Let's just get the nitpicks out of the way because you're about to say
I
something.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's gonna be all of them.
Oh, that's all for you? Okay, DeMarco? I'm sure you have a laundry list. I haven't even fought anyone yet.
Yeah, I mean, I have, like I said, I have 3.5 hours in it at the moment. And there's things that Virtuos did exceptionally well. Like the character creator is phenomenal. So there's an inside joke that the randomize button was they just called it at Bethesda, they called it the ugly button. And I don't know,
Yeah.
Jonas, if you tried to hit the randomize button, but I didn't see a single good looking, and that has to be intentional. They're like, let's just,
Yeah.
and they're not like grotesque, but they're just like, they just don't look good, whatever you get from hitting that button. And I just gotta, they must have done that on purpose. It had to be. So like, I love that. They have, of course, there's new dialogue and new voice actors, which is phenomenal to see. Like, not every single guard is Wes Johnson. Which
Yeah.
I love that every single guard was Wes Johnson, but not every single guard. I'm pretty sure the guy standing outside the arena, when you go to the arena in the Imperial City, I think the guy who voice acts for him is actually the same person who does, when Faendal and the other guy are fighting
Sven?
over Camila, Sven.
Sven,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
fighting over
yes,
Camila.
yes.
I think the guy outside the arena is Sven's voice actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I swear to
that's so
God, I
cool,
heard
man.
one of the Skyrim guards as one of the actual guards, but I could not find it again. So maybe I was just hearing.
So they kept it in
what
the
I want.
family, is what you're saying. Like they didn't just get random. They brought people back from Skyrim, right?
Some of them, not all of them, I'm sure, but like that
Yeah.
person maybe agreed to. That person maybe agreed.
man.
That person on the podcast says Elemental.
It does kind of.
Oh, Red.
There you go.
Linda
Yes.
Carter just came out and said that she voices the female orcs and Nords.
Yeah,
Linda, yeah, she was the original,
Carter.
right?
yeah, she was.
She's
Yes.
the infamous one that does the. Oh, let me do that one again. She's the the line where she has to repeat herself.
Yeah, she just
Which I think,
reconfirmed
DeMarco, you
it,
had that in your
yeah.
video recently, didn't you? You like highlighted some of those
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny, so
Yeah.
funny.
They had
Anyway, yeah.
They had what is it? Like I was in the Imperial City, and the first NPC conversation I heard in the Imperial City was there. Now, again, this is why I say it's firmly a remaster. Like they could have populated that with a lot more NPCs. Instead, you walk into the market district of what is basically Manhattan in the Elder Scrolls universe, and there's
Yeah.
5 people. There's just 5
Right.
people walking around in the market district during the middle of the day in fantasy Manhattan. So like it's a remaster. But the first thing I have
Right.
is of the 5 NPCs, 2 of them are each in individual conversations with one another, and they're both having the exact same conversation.
Oh, classic! I love it. Classic conversation. Oblivion
And I'm watching
conversation.
this and I'm just like, we did it! Like they did
We're
it!
back.
I'm
This is
thinking actually like
Oblivion!
I'm thinking like in the remaster remake conversation, I'm thinking this will be the remaster and the remake will be Skyblivion.
Skyblivion.
Honestly.
Skyblivion's
Yeah.
the remake.
It is.
Yeah, okay,
exactly.
I can see that. Yeah.
They're adding Skyblivion is adding new music. I don't think they're doing new voices. It's all going to be the same voice actors.
Right.
I believe. But they're overhauling all of the cities to make them actually more lore friendly. Like, for example, Leyawind is like a port town, and there should be boats that are able to go in and out, but the city doesn't allow that, so they actually made moats. Like, they designed the city so there's moats so boats can go through it, or maybe it was Breville. But, like, they completely overhauled that. They're doing every single dungeon, and one of the first things I did was, like, let me go in a dungeon and see, because that was the big thing for me. I knew when they didn't talk about it in the showcase, they didn't change them. I knew.
That would be such a big point if it was like they would go, we have redone every single dungeon.
Exactly.
To look unique
Exactly.
is like, yeah, no.
But you
No,
go
they
in, and they're all exactly the same, and you're walking around the same 5 tunnels, and it's like, all right, this is like, I loved Oblivion, and I still love
Right.
Oblivion, and I'll always love Oblivion.
It's a remaster.
But that's what a remake would do, right? A remake would have touched those, and they did it, which is fine.
Right.
That's totally fine, because I go in and I love it, and I'm having a time of my life with the 3.5 hours I played it.
I think that they would have had to have conversations about how can we stay true to this and also make it feel new and fresh, because like, for example, I pulled up, I was like, oh shit, I forgot the one thing that we didn't see was the map, so I brought up the map just a little bit ago, and I was like, oh shit, it is the map from the original game. It just looks a little cleaner, looks a little prettier, a little more less pixely, I guess, in comparison.
And the local map is almost 1-to-1.
Right, yeah,
You go
and
with the local
so
map. Yeah, it's like
so
1-to-1.
imagine if they were like, no, let's do a 3D map for Skyrim. How many people would have said, no, I love the hand-drawn, you know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
apply that to every other thing with the game. So they had to sort of say, how do we make this? And I feel like that's why, the more I talk about it, I feel like that's why they called it a remaster, was because they can't just say we remade it's a Skyrim remake or a Oblivion remake, but we left everything kind of the same. It's like, what? So they probably had so many conversations about what is it, or what do we call it, and just call it remastered, because it's now. I will say it is like playing the game with nostalgic glasses, but it also feels, so far it feels like I'm playing a new Elder Scrolls game.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is Oblivion.
There's
It's
no
so
reason-
weird. It's so weird,
There's
like
no
in a
reason
good
to
way.
Go back to, there's no reason to go back to classic Oblivion.
Yes.
At
Yeah.
all.
Exactly. Like I couldn't do
I'm
it
serious.
again.
I mean, unless you just want to, like, you really want to put your nostalgia glasses on, I don't think there's a reason to go back to classic Oblivion after, like, they recreated it faithfully enough.
Right. I think you would do it only for like the for the reason of it being retro at this point, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, I haven't gotten into the combat or anything. I have sort of moved
You got
around a little
haptics.
bit. Go ahead. What were you doing with your controller? What do you want to?
They got haptics in the PlayStation.
Oh, really?
They added haptics.
That's
which is like one of the big things I wanted. It's
That's
very minor,
fantastic.
but like if you're out of stamina, you start to get the resistance in the triggers a little bit.
What?
And when you're pulling,
Oh, that
you
son
feel
of a
it.
bitch.
Yeah, like I was
Damn it,
punching
Xbox,
guys,
come
and then
on.
it's like you're running out of stamina as you're punching, and then the trigger put some resistance.
Oh
as you go,
my
which was
god!
really neat.
So that's an excellent
then you're pulling the
application of that gimmick. It's not a gimmick. That's
It's a gimmick.
fantastic.
It's a total gimmick.
Yeah, Xbox. Look, the next Xbox controller is rumored to have, the Series 3 is rumored to have haptic feedback. So can't wait for that, but I can't do it. That's awesome. I love that, because that makes sense. You're like, I'm running out of fuel. Oh, it's so cool. I love that.
The only other thing, and then I'll shut up for a good while because I don't want to hijack the whole show. But
No,
I could,
please.
but I don't. The enemy AI is abysmal. It behaves like in combat. It behaves like it did in Oblivion, where you'll block, then you wait for them to attack, and you're like, all right, I just blocked them, and then I swing a couple times, then I block, I wait for them to hit, then I swing like it is exactly that is how Oblivion combat went. However, they are just completely and utterly sightless. They have zero, like, it has equally as bad. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, phenomenal game. Its detection AI was abysmal. Absolute, like, it was really bad, and that was a game that stealth was important. Stealth isn't as important in Oblivion.
but it's real. Like there's 2 trolls that were sitting in a dungeon, and one was up, one was kind of lower in the cave, and I was on the other side of this small little like crevice thing, pit, and the troll was just sitting there staring right at me, and I'm jumping up and down in front of it, and it's just like.
Yeah, I already sort of notice it. I'm like halfway through the opening dungeon, the sewers, and I'm already noticing it with the goblins and the rats.
Dude, they don't notice you until you're like 4 feet behind them, and then they're suddenly like, "Ah."
Exactly.
And it's terrible. There's sometimes where they got like not doorways, like loading screen doorways, which I think it's really funny. Unreal Engine. But I guess it's a lot more creation than we all thought it was going to be, because you still have all the same loading screens, which I think is wonderful, honestly.
So wait, hang on. I'm sorry.
'Cause they're quick.
Let me ask you real quick. Not loading screen, because I've only seen the one that was brand new.
Every single doorway is a loading screen.
Oh,
well,
a loading.
Like doorways. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant loading art. I guess is better.
No.
way to put it.
Like going.
Okay,
through,
sorry.
Like all those. But they'll not loading screen doors. But if you actually go through a doorway that does not have a loading screen, they will very frequently get stuck, and they'll just stand on the other side of that door frame.
Yeah.
And they'll stare at you, doing nothing. They won't make sound. They won't talk. They won't say anything. They'll just stare at you menacingly.
It's the best. I did notice right as Boris is like, "Don't try anything funny," and he's like, and I'm like, "Where are you going? Like what? Why did you turn like that?" Like the NPCs, like the way that they move, and they're just like so violently turning. They're just like, and they just like completely like smash their head into a wall to get around a corner, and it was hilarious. And that's where I had to stop because I had to do this podcast. But I don't know. I'm sure the thing is into what BT Maverick, or I'm sorry, who was it that said? I think it was Slowlark says, hasn't Bethesda said that the game won't be getting official mod support? Contradictory to that, Hazador, I think on Twitter, said that there will be mod support, that it's actually
There's
already available.
A mod out.
Right. So
there's a mod out for
There's
putting
a mod out?
lewd. There's a mod out that puts lewd textures on.
Of course, that's the first fucking thing degenerates do. Jesus Christ. So, which is fantastic. I'm not, if you like boobs, that's cool. But the thing is, like, I think it would behoove Bethesda to allow creations to be implemented into this game, especially for how popular it is. I guess the question is, how easy is it to implement with Unreal Engine on top of it? Maybe it's not even an issue. Maybe it's not an issue whatsoever. But at the very least, my point is, at the very least, that we will see post-launch support. We're not going to see DLC or anything like that. But I think the issues that we're having, like highlighted objects, the button mapping, just little things like the AI patches, I think that we will get stuff like that at the very least. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Like post-launch support.
I have this. Look, this game is incredibly successful. I don't know what people are saying, but it has like over 100,000 people already playing or something insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me just check. If I look at so if I'm looking at SteamDB right now, 157,000 people, and it's been out for less than 12
6 hours. Yeah.
It's been out for almost 7 hours. Just 7
Almost
hours.
7 hours. Yeah.
Under 7, yeah. 157,000 people. Now, for reference, what's incredible, and this is not like a
and those are just the people who's in the game. Think of all the people still downloading.
Yeah,
That's all the
exactly.
people still
Yeah.
Now, for reference, like Skyrim, if I look at Skyrim, their sort of peak, right? Their peak was 287,000 all time. So Oblivion is already at a little over half of that.
That's insane.
You know what that means?
What is? Go ahead. Sorry.
They gotta do Skyrim again.
But bro, listen, I'm not kidding
Really?
you. I said this, and I'm not joking. I would not be mad if they give this same love to Skyrim. I wouldn't even be mad, because at least then it would be warranted, because Skyrim Special Edition, It's a beautiful up-resed version of the game. It is. Skyrim Anniversary Edition, it just added a bunch of creations in. There really wasn't a whole lot there other than just here's another bundle.
It's just it's still special edition.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's still a special edition just with bundled in creations that don't affect your achievements, essentially. It makes everything, it just adds more lore-friendly content. I would love if they did this. Well, and we are going to get that, by the way. We are going to get Fallout 3 remastered, and that's going to be amazing. Imagine Fallout 3 with like modern day shooting. Oh, God, my God.
Fallout 3 with Starfield's shooting mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. Just something that just feels like more modern, like, you know, because nowadays, like, I love Fallout New Vegas, but I tried to play it a few months ago. It is not good.
You just hate everything Obsidian.
No, Fallout New Vegas was my favorite Fallout, period. And it still kind of is in a lot of ways. Fallout 4 I think is mine now, just because I don't know. It's just the way that it feels, like the shooting and stuff like that just doesn't feel great. But none of them do. None of them do. So anyway, but if they did that, if they did the same thing with Skyrim, that the same treatment with this, like full on new lighting, all that, like Oblivion Remaster looks better than Skyrim Vanilla now. So we have to think. And the thing is, there has to be an order put in for more remasters after this success. It just goes to show you the appetite for another Elder Scrolls game.
We have been starving for a long time.
Yes,
man.
It's insane. It's been a long time, and so it's just. I love it. I'm so happy that it blew.
I remember
up the way
being in high school playing Skyrim and being like, man, this is great. Can't wait to play another one of these in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I remember being in middle school and watching a family friend's dad play it, and it was like, oh, cool. Are they going to make a new one? No.
What do you... So, Assassin, you haven't played it yet, right? You haven't gotten your...
I'm the only one that out of the four of us that have not played it. Mine is still downloading. Give me a second. I have 40 minutes left. It has downloaded 80 gigs out of 123. Jesus Christ.
But it's what's cool about all of this is by the time that... So if you think about the Bethesda's opportunity at this point, they just had the remaster. Let's assume 2 years for Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
Then another 2 years you get Fallout 3 Remastered. Then another 2 years you get Fallout 5. Then another 2 years. Now it's been 2, 4, 6. Now it's been 8 years of time has passed. And now you can finally get, it's a reasonable time for a Skyrim, like unironically a reasonable time for a Skyrim remaster 8 years later.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. They need to do Morrowind first.
Yes.
No, Jonas.
Which, by the way,
they need to do Arena first.
No, Arena. Arena is before. It's before the current timeline. Modern day Elder Scrolls started with Morrowind.
It was the first Elder Scrolls game.
Nah, you don't get it.
You don't understand.
No, I don't care if I get it.
Nah, you're not understanding.
I don't care if I get it.
Listen, and don't even say Daggerfall, because that's literally impossible. That's just not going to happen. But a Morrowind remaster, that wouldn't be it would be a remake. Like it would be a remake.
Yes.
At that point, because it's just.
I don't think it's possible to.
Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, I don't think it's. What's that?
What? I was just saying they were busy with other projects.
I don't know Virtuos' pipeline after.
They're doing Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yeah, but we're talking years down the line at this point. Like this would be after that and after Fallout 3.
Well, maybe Virtuos.
Is Microsoft's gonna buy Virtuos?
Dude,
oh,
that would
God,
be a power
no.
move.
No.
Buy everyone. Yeah.
Please, God, no.
Just make them a permanent remaster studio, but only for Xbox titles.
I mean, if that's what it's gonna take for us to get like a new Jade Empire or Banjo-Kazooie, fuck it. All right, fine. I changed my stance to it.
Slolark has a good question. Jonas, do you want to tackle that one?
No,
Can
'cause
you
they
read
will be
it out
here
for me because
forever.
I'm
Why
not
would
caught up?
why would the older Elder Scrolls games be impossible to remake?
Are we
Oh,
talking the first couple?
Daggerfall. Yeah.
Arena
Arena and
and
Daggerfall
Daggerfall,
would,
yeah.
because Daggerfall is literally, just to put it simply, there are tiny locations in Daggerfall that are literally bigger than like 20 Skyrims put together. Just
Right.
one little province. That's it. It's like the game is literally like the size of a planet because of procedural generation. It's just impossible.
So Daggerfall takes place in the entirety of Tamriel, the continent. And the way they did it back then is that you fast traveled to each location. You could, go traverse in the wilderness as well, but it wouldn't, you wouldn't actually go to a destination. And the thing is, like, everything was procedurally generated in order to make it possible to have everything in a huge scale. You would have cities the size of cities, and when you do that, you can't do that and also have handcrafted environments and content for all of the locations. That's why those games will be impossible to do as a modern remake or remaster. And I don't think you would want that, honestly. And also the modern lore and everything of the Elder Scrolls as we know it basically started properly with Morrowind.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I mean it makes perfect sense. The reason and again, and also for Morrowind, the reason that it would be a remake is because, if you don't know, there is 0 voiced dialogue lines, like interactive dialogue lines. Everything is text, unless it's just barks, enemy barks, or just you walk up to someone and they're like, "You swit, you Enwa," which I was like, "Oh, what the hell did you just call me?" Which is actually something that
Did you call me the N-word?
Did you just call me the N-word? Yeah, they literally say that in Morrowind. But everything would have to be voiced. There's so much dialogue in Morrowind, it's insane. So it's insane. Like you'd be like, "Hey, tell me about Balmora," and they're like, "Well, back in 1752 of the Third Age of the Fifth Era," I'm just like, "Okay," and it's just like 5 paragraphs long of just lore dumps. So it would be
Okay, slow Lark.
Let me get
you
my
might want to
book.
retract that, man.
Let me get this big binder on history.
I'm glad you asked. They pull out a book. It breaks the table. So,
And that's
anyway.
and that is if they're glad you asked. If they're not glad you asked, they have a whole different set of dialogue for you.
Which is true. You have to like, "I don't even know you," and you're like, "Well, here's 10 gold." You're like, "Oh, well, I'm glad. Now I'm glad you asked." And then it's ridiculous.
You don't give
Anyway.
enough money, and it's like, "Ew, why are you talking to me?"
God, I love how in
Speaking of-
Oblivion or Morrowind, how you would try to bribe someone and it wouldn't work, and then they would be pissed at you that it wasn't enough, and then they would attack you. They're like, "Fuck you! 10 gold for my knowledge!" And they shing. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, DeMarco.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's incredible to me too that they were able to bring over all the old, like the original persuasion and the original lockpicking. I mean, the lockpicking less impressive, but I don't know. I was like, if anything's gonna change, they're gonna be like, we're modernizing the lockpicking. We use Skyrim system. It's just what everybody knows and likes. But they brought back both of those things, and then it looks equally as ridiculous as you're sitting there rotating the wheel for persuasion, and they're just like,
Yeah, I know. It's so good. That's a great expression. That's so good. They're just like so ridiculous, goofily, just excited, just wearing it on their face, just like. Yeah, I love it. That's so good. Shout out to everyone here hanging out with us. I'd love to see everyone popping off in chat that I usually don't get to see. Black Mesa Cake says they need to do the original Elder Scrolls and Fallouts. Yeah. Honestly, man, I would love to see... and we actually just talked about Elder Scrolls remakes. I would actually love to see sort of like a modernized version of the original Fallouts, like Fallout 1, 2, Tactics. Maybe not the Tales of the... whatever that weird one was with the heroes. There's some bad Fallout games. You should go look at the spin-offs. They're really bad. But yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Jesse James says Elder Scrolls 6 is officially. Oh, he's talking to Assassin. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, let me grab. Vault
You
Boy.
should read what Slowlark said.
Slowlark says, "Why would Elder?" Which is kind of where Starfield fell down. Thanks for explaining. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Which, I don't know. Tell me what you mean, Slowlark. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of issues with that people have with Starfield.
Some warranted, some not. I will say that.
Well, it's Starfield. You know, people that don't like DeMarco. Like I was picking on DeMarco in the chat the other day. People that don't like Starfield, it's fine. It's totally fine if you don't like it. I think that Starfield is definitely in a genre that doesn't appeal to everyone. But to say that it's like it's bad.
Red. It's not the genre that's Cope Red. It's not the genre. I'm gonna play Assassin's role. It's not. That's not the genre. That's not.
I don't
the
think
problem.
you like Space Sims.
That's not the problem.
Okay, listen, we'll have a whole other podcast talking about this. Anyway, let's talk about Oblivion. Hey, a game that doesn't have 1,000 planets.
Thank God it doesn't.
Anyway, so Assassin, can you speak on this? On anything? Say anything about Oblivion Remaster? Go ahead.
Other than I'm excited to play it, the three of you kind of hit all of the nails that I wanted to talk about in the first place. Although I did want to bring up what DeMarco did mention earlier in the show, the discussion of Bethesda potentially using Creation Engine 2 as the brain, and then coming in using UE5 as the body, kind of like how Virtuos and Bethesda explained it today for Elder Scrolls 6. I'm not entirely sure that that's even a possibility. Didn't they say they entered pre-production last year after Starfield's expansion, DeMarco?
I don't think there was ever any official comment about the state of.
I think it was an estimate, right, or an educated guess.
Yeah, it's all gonna be educated guesses. I mean, realistically speaking, they've been working on Elder Scrolls 6 since because I saw the chat from Jesse in chat. They've been working on Elder Scrolls 6 since 2018 in some capacity. Now Bethesda has always had overlap, and typically like the games start entering. I would almost describe it as like pre-production and then pre-production, and I think their pre-production period, pre-production would be 2018 to whenever. The actual pre-production was. Yeah, and the actual, which is technically pre-production, but I'm trying to be just a little bit more like granular with it, right? The actual pre-production where they have developers and they're like staging levels and probably making a vertical slice and all. They've had that for a while too, right? Because Todd Howard has stepped out and said, I've played the game and I see what we're doing in it, and he means a vertical slice of it, of course, but he said it's really impressive what we're doing there. I think that what a lot of people don't remember is that it was being worked on during COVID. That set a lot of games back, including Bethesda games. And also the engine upgrades were a massive difference. I don't think that's a reason why they can't integrate it into Elder Scrolls 6, though, because even if it just... So now with Oblivion Remastered, they have that technology, and obviously Oblivion Remastered has been worked on. I think they said they worked on it since there was a tweet that went out.
2021.
Okay, so 2021 to 2025. So that was 4-year development cycle for that game. That means they had to have had the technology in place. Like they probably started working on making that work in 2021. So let's assume a year to get that up and running, which means Bethesda was able to really start on Elder Scrolls 6 beyond a conceptual stage or beyond a vertical slice. They were able to really start in 2022, roughly. Which
I
would
think
make
my internet is breaking down.
Which would make 2027 a 5-year development cycle for Elder Scrolls 6 if they started in 2022 on development.
I think the
okay.
thing about Elder Scrolls 6 is that in order to properly guess when we might see it / play it, is determine or guess how big Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be. Is it going to be like Skyrim
Huge.
level big? Is it going to be a little bit bigger?
Bigger.
Gonna be a
Bigger.
little
Bethesda's obsessed. Bethesda's obsessed with bigger.
Yeah, and
yeah, but
even
after
Todd.
Starfield, I don't think it's a good idea for them to do that.
But that's not.
Neither
we're not-
do most
don't
people, but
compare
that's not what
fucking
they're-
Starfield to another Elder Scrolls game. It doesn't make
Why
sense to
not?
compare
made
because
by
they're
the s-
they're
they're made by the same
completely different genres. You have a space sim with thousands of planets, and then you have a fantasy game set in one province or two, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Don't overthink
I think. Well, yes.
I'm
and
sorry
no,
for yelling
right?
at you. I love you.
You're talking purely about scale. This is where we need to sit down like adults and have the adult conversation, which is you're talking
I like
about
your
scale.
hat.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was not talking about scale. I was talking about
Exactly, Assassin. That's what I'm. So, Red's referring to scale. The problem is Bethesda focuses their attention on the wrong things. Now, part of it was into building the technology that would allow them to achieve that scale. That was a massive part of that process. However, when you're looking at the two, that's not true American Fury. I would compare Obsidian games, but when you look
No,
at,
I
like, for
always
example,
compare games to their previous
Bethesda-
ones, no matter what the genre.
yeah, Bethesda spent a lot of time to make the settlement system changes that they did between Fallout 4 or Fallout 76 into Starfield. And guess
Yeah.
what? I'm going to be brutally honest. The settlement system in Starfield is terrible. Like, it is genuinely abysmal. It's complicated, it's clunky, it's not fun, it's pointless, entirely pointless, and a lot of resources went into making that work in time and development, I'm sure. The ship combat was fine. Instead of spending all the time that they could have in making the settlement system really good, or instead of making the ship combat really good, a lot of development time went into doing both of those things. So the game in and of itself is just stretched thin. Like, there's an expression that is I don't remember what it's from, but like
Butter over too much bread.
Lord of the Rings. It's from Lord of the Rings. It's like when Bilbo explains, and he's like, it just feels like bread that's spread too far over, like, or butter that's spread
That's
too
what I
far
just
over
said.
bread.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
other
I
way
feel
around.
like butter scraped over too much bread. Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
it was just too, and all of these things, it's what's the you learn it in grade school when you're learning basic economics. Guns and butter. You want more guns, you can't make as much butter. You want more butter, you can't make as much guns. And that's
You can make a
where
gun
I
with
think
butter?
Is
concern. It's the
that what you learn
analogy,
in
right?
school in America?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
actually
America,
how they explain
baby.
it. That's how they explain it. Yeah, if you're looking at the production of two different things, they put it on a chart, and you're like, okay, it goes like you can only have, or it's inverted from one another. So you want to produce more of it's just to explain a concept. You want to produce more of this
Yeah, I
thing,
get it.
you can't make as much of this thing. But yeah, that is how they taught
I
it
get
to
the
us.
concept.
Yeah, that's how they taught it to us.
I just thought it funny.
It's kind of
Welcome
like
to
making
America.
a cake. Bethesda was
Yeah.
more concerned about how much they could put into the cake instead of how it tasted.
And you look at Oblivion, and it didn't have any of this stuff. And you have almost 200,000 people on Steam alone. And most people, I guarantee you, most people are picking this up.
250.
It hit 250?
Yeah, 250,000. Yeah.
Holy
By the way,
It-
this is a Tuesday, guys.
It literally just
It's a
jumped up
Tuesday?
100,000 since
Tuesday.
in 45 minutes.
Now that people are starting to get off
Now
work.
that people are now that people on the East Coast are starting
Jesus
to get
Christ!
Imagine the numbers this weekend, the coming
home.
That's more.
It
that's more than-
it could almost hit Monster Hunter levels.
Dude,
if I'm being
imagine
honest.
Elder Scrolls 6. Oh my God.
weekend. Yeah.
Okay,
But
I can't
Oblivion
even,
didn't.
Go ahead.
Oblivion didn't have any of these things, right?
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and people look at that and they go, "This is a phenomenal game." And now they look at Skyrim, they look at Fallout 4, they look at Starfield. They're like, "The engine's the problem. The engine, this engine." It's not the engine, because the Oblivion Remaster would not be a good game if Oblivion wasn't a good game. I'm getting on a different subject here, but it
No, go
ties
ahead.
into the fact that Starfield, like Oblivion Remaster wouldn't be a good game if Oblivion wasn't a good game. Oblivion was a good game, it was built in creation. Therefore, the engine is not the problem. But it also bleeds into what Starfield did. Bethesda's going to, and they're reaching all the way out here, and they're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that, we're gonna have this, it's gonna be amazing. And it goes back to that word Todd Howard uses. He wants the ultimate fantasy simulation.
Right. Simulation
don't
is the
want-
key word in all of this, and I think
We
that
don't
like.
want that.
Well, I think that what,
There's
and
simulation
I don't
elements.
disagree with you. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think what you're saying is they're looking at all these tertiary elements to have a simulation experience more than the RPG experience. For people that like love immersion, they want to build a house. Think about whenever Hearthfire came out for Skyrim. How pointless was that? It's the same thing. It didn't do anything for you. You spent all this time building.
Hearthfire fit in well, I gotta say, because
It
doesn't,
fit, but it
because the
doesn't
thing is-
do anything for you. It was purely based on simulation and immersion. It was, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to have a place for my family and my adopted child or whatever. And I love it.
Yeah,
I love
Adopted
it.
children and pets.
You know what?
which, let's be
What-
real. The best DLC for Skyrim was not Hearthfire.
No, but here's the thing: it was a DLC. It wasn't shipped with the main game.
It was exactly. It wasn't the focus. That's
Yeah,
fine.
they were
If you want to
implementing-
have simulation elements, if you want to have simulation in a Bethesda game, it cannot be the main focus. It
No,
can
that-
be an
that's-
additive.
That's incorrect. The entire world is simulated. Like
Jonas, you're not
everything that's
helping here,
happening.
man.
No, but it's a
He's right. He's
misunderstanding
right.
of the
But
terms. Then
I understand, but
Yeah, but
I understand.
but just because Jonas is right doesn't mean that I'm wrong necessarily, DeMarco.
no.
Like we played Skyrim because it's fantasy, not because we can adopt a child. Or we
well,
can build a
I think
house.
that Bethesda games definitely skirt the line of being definitely doing very well of having
it's
doing
it's
the
a mix
best of both
between RPG
worlds.
and simulation.
Yes,
It cannot.
yes.
It cannot dip into either one. It has to be the fine line
Right,
between
and
those two.
I think to DeMarco's
Which
point,
is
they
fine.
have dipped too far into the simulation aspect more than the actual RPG aspect. And you tell me if I'm wrong.
Which
I'm
turned
gonna
a lot
speak
of
for you,
people off.
DeMarco.
No, you're on the money. You're finally getting what we've been telling you.
No,
for
dude,
the
I
past
I
2
understand
years.
it. I understand it. It's just that I am such a sucker for space stuff. The only other game that we've gotten besides No Man's Sky is Starfield. Like everything that I wanted out of No Man's Sky, I got with Starfield. I guess is the best way to say it.
That's
So like
not true. You got the Mass Effect collection.
that's Mass Effect is nothing like Starfield. That is a space sim versus a space opera, space fantasy game. It's a linear RPG that has open world elements. Like they're not comparable.
Can't you use magic in Starfield?
Yes, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about.
Space,
I'm just talking about
magic,
the I'm talking
fantasy?
about the simulation aspect of it. Is all I'm talking about. Mass Effect is a
this
pure
tangent,
RPG.
this tangent is eating up my Oblivion time.
You're right. You're right. So anyway, Oblivion is a
Hey,
game.
at least you got to play it.
That's true. That's true. Cold Start says, "What is Bethesda launching in 2026?" Well, I would hope it would be Elder Scrolls 6, maybe December or November 2026. But yeah, we'll see.
Well,
Honestly,
Tango was still around. It would have been Evil Within 3.
well, I would say someone I can't remember. I'm sorry. Earlier, I think it was Jacob Tupla who said the next Fallout 3 remaster. I predicted the Fallout 3 remaster would come out along near the season 2 of Fallout
Here's
TV
my
show. If they were smart about
here's
it.
my conspiracy. Here's my conspiracy, right? Fallout Season 2 is going to focus on New Vegas, right? Obviously, there's no time to make a remaster of New Vegas, right? But Season 3, however, and they set Season 3 in Washington. At the same time, they have a Fallout 3
Oh,
remaster,
yeah.
which is set in Washington. Play the game. Watch the show. There's interconnecting.
Yeah, that could
interconnections here.
be. That could be.
Fallout 3 with Fallout Season 3, both set in Washington. Bethesda, I'm giving you a hint here.
Well, I mean, in season 2, well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone else.
Because Season 2 is going to focus on New Vegas.
Okay,
right?
well, you spoiled it.
That,
Great.
that
All right.
is the ending shot. Come on, Red. Come on.
I'm like, I'm not
Don't
going to spoil
start
it for
with
anyone.
this
He's like, well,
spoiler shit.
I hate spoilers. RSJ fan says you
It's
can't
been
use
out for a year.
you can't use magic in Starfield. Yeah, but so has we're not getting into this. Yeah,
It has
RSJ fan.
250,000.
That's insane.
Oblivion Remastered has 257,000 viewers,
Oh, then I may have gotten that wrong.
not
Never
players. It's 162,000 players though, which is still
still climbing.
Which is
That's
still pretty
insane.
good.
It's insane.
It had a
Um,
peak viewership of 461,000.
The people on the West Coast are now driving home from work. Those numbers are about to go up.
Can
Yep.
can Virtuos Can Virtuos just fix the stupid sprinting animation?
You don't like the.
You're lucky we
Can they
got
fix the
sprinting at
stupid
all.
highlights?
It is the dumbest run I've seen since Ezra Miller in Zack Snyder's DC.
Oh, this.
It is worse.
You're
I
only
would say
saying that
this
because
is
Holly's not here.
no. I would say that regardless, but I extra say it because Holly's nice. But
Extra say it.
no, that
You
it
want to walk
is
back that statement?
it is worse than Ezra Miller's run. It is the goofiest thing, and I play in first person, so like I shouldn't care.
Yeah.
Oh, and also in first person, it's the most annoying thing in the world. There's only these are my biggest complaints. Get rid of the stupid animations. When you pick a mushroom. Get rid of the stupid sprint. Change that. Like who was like, that's how they would run in Oblivion if Oblivion was if it had sprint. Like who? What?
How would
Fix
you
that.
sprint if you had a full set of armor on?
Like a human being, not a clown. not like I just came out of the Shivering Isles.
Like an ape.
I mean,
They're just
like the player character. Listen, anyone who runs like that was cursed by a Daedra before they were born. I'm sorry, it's
That's
insane.
true.
Like you will get picked on by all of the other Khajiit boys and girls if you're running around like that in Imperial school. So fix that. The other thing too is there's only two moves.
Shiagara comes out to DeMarco and goes, "Riddle me this, riddle me that. So why do you run like an old school nun?"
That's Clavicus Vile.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Which was voiced by Todd Howard. I have to
Todd
find
Howard,
the shrine and see
yeah.
if it's still... Todd Howard
Oh
voiced
man,
Clavicus Vile. I gotta see if it's-
they can't
I
have
gotta
changed
see if
it.
this is the case. It does. There's only 2 running speeds. This is like a huge thing I don't like. You either walk or you run. That's it. There's no like. Usually it's the joystick. However much pressure you put on the joystick is the speed you go. Does not have that. I don't know if that's because it's Unreal Engine. Like I have zero. It shouldn't be. That sounds ridiculous to me.
really?
But
That
there's only
sucks.
2 movement speeds. It's either
Ew,
walking or
brother.
running. Brother is right. And the other thing is when you're in first person, it makes sense when you are playing in third person, where you get like a little bit of movement after your character stops running, like you see them kind of like slow down a bit organically, like the animation.
Like a ramp
Fine
up,
in
ramp
third
down.
person. Yeah, exactly. Fine in third person. If you're in first person and my guy keeps moving after I stop moving, it's just disorienting. And it feels like you're just kind of slide. Like, it feels like you're doing one of those runs where the character's like, whoosh, and they slide for a little bit. After, like, when they stop running, they like jump. And then this, it's annoying. I don't like it. I don't know why that is the case. But
Yeah.
it is. So, those big things, those are my major complaints. And again, if I'm complaining about these things, they did a pretty damn good job on the remaster because these are all very complaining about run
tiny.
speed is like the most.
Yeah. And again,
just,
real quick, everyone, thank you guys so much again for hanging out with us, taking away your sweet Oblivion Remaster time. We're literally all of us here are gonna jump back on it. Jonas might just be playing it right now, whenever this podcast ends. But thank you guys so much for being here, and consider becoming a channel member if you want. We got emojis, and that's all I can offer you. No, I'm kidding. Wacko Game says, if you think Oblivion Remaster is a big deal, wait until GTA 6. Yeah, well, that's going to be insane. Jesse James is I think they meant to say, is ZeniMax Online part of Bethesda? They are making an MMO. ZeniMax
Oh
is
yeah,
making
that's
a
right.
new
Their
MMO?
new IP. Yeah, they're making a
Yeah,
new
they're working
MMO.
on something new.
For years, yeah.
Okay. Well, if
Yeah,
it's something
probably
new,
for
it's
a
not going to
while.
be. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be something brand new. Then it's not going to be Elder Scrolls or Fallout.
Probably.
Because we already have those 2
Starfield Online.
MMOs. Bro, if
It'll
that.
probably be
Oh
Starfield.
my God! If that happened, I would shit.
If that actually
everywhere.
happens, we might actually have stuff to do on those planets.
That doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Does anyone know if it'll use our cloud saves from Origin? No.
New game.
It will not.
It will not. It's a new
Yeah.
game. By the way,
It's a
the
brand new
question
game.
earlier that was asked to us, like, what is Bethesda releasing in 2026? Like, I saw that Maverick said Blade. If
No, they're
Blade comes out in
publishing.
2026, Arcane owes me $5, because that's not gonna happen. Blade
I don't-
seems like a 2027 launch
Yeah.
to me.
Exactly. I 100% agree. 2027, early 2027 for Blade, maybe late 27 for Elder Scrolls.
Especially since Leon doesn't have Austin to help.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Yep.
Arcane Austin.
Totally agree. And
Like,
RSJ fan.
What could they release in 2026, right? Because you got, Tango and Arcane Austin are not there. Blade seems too far. Same as Elder Scrolls 6. Like, are they even gonna have anything next year besides the normal ESO update?
ESO even changed their release structure to give more frequent. You know, I don't play ESO, but normally they do. That's the other thing I don't like in Oblivion Remaster is everything feels MMO-y. Like,
Arcane, you disagree with me, bro?
It's
if Blade
very
comes out next year, I will give you 500
the way the
bucks.
health bars, the way the health bar is done, like it's almost 1-to-1 from what I remember from ESO playing that, and I don't like it.
It looks like chunky. You know what I mean? Like it's not like seamless, like thin, like it doesn't like take away from your.
Jonas, you're
peripheral.
All of the UI feels too bulky.
Bulky. Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
the
say
word,
you're the expert on this stuff.
What's up?
You're the expert on just like design and layout and like all these.
Yeah, no.
You have an eye for it.
Yeah, it's like I said. I feel like there's a lot of bulk in the design of the UI elements. Like, do we need a big black box background or behind the name of people you talk to?
That is not where I thought he was going with that explanation.
Well, Assassin, your mind is in the gutter, and that's where it belongs.
Go ahead. Yeah. Do we need a big black what?
I'm just saying, Jonas. I'm just saying it.
Do we need a big black box behind the name of the characters you're speaking to?
No,
And
that's
do
another
we
thing. Don't need that.
Exactly.
Yeah. That the first, as soon as Patrick Stewart walked up to me, he's like, "I've seen you in my dreams." I was like, "Fuck! I know who you are. I don't need to see your name right here, about right here, the entire time. Like you just told me your name. I know you forever now." Yeah, that shit bothers me. American Fury.
Yeah, and
Not forever.
American
before
Fury.
I did anything, starting the game, like going through the settings and all of that, like just from what I'd seen for the trailers and stuff that came out earlier today, I just, you know what, I'm gonna set every text element to small, just because it looks so chunky in all of the previews.
Yeah.
I did that, right away.
I think, I would hope that they would implement. I feel like they will. I feel like they will. Just give us some
lie, the nitpicking
options
from the three
for
of you is making me a
accessibility.
little bit less excited.
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie, the nitpicking from the three of you is making me excited a little bit less.
It doesn't. These
Okay,
are things that you never would have.
Let me get you re-excited.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll get you re-excited because it is one of the
I'll be right
most
back.
beautiful Elder Scrolls games that I've ever played. Skyrim is, I think, also still to this day, vanilla Skyrim even, is a beautiful game, but this is in a different way, where every single vista that you see, looking at, when Todd Howard explains, like, see that mountain? You could go there. Like, you the way that this game presents itself visually, it feels like that is a realization. The Oblivion Remaster is...
I can be excited.
95...
Assassin, if you go into the forest, you can be pounded by several big black forest trolls.
Jonas, I think you're talking about Baldur's Gate 3. That's an entirely different conversation there, homie.
All right.
You could also do that in Baldur's Gate 3. Both games. They're very forward-thinking.
Double entendre.
They're very forward-thinking games. But it is the idealized version of what Oblivion is supposed to be. Like, Virtuos really did look at this and say,
I think it's the structure of how the three of you were just like, I'm gonna complain about every little thing and just wait until we talk about the things that I like about it. Just that's not usually
because
how
we
it
don't have
goes.
because we don't have anything.
No, you got it the other way
to complain
around. You need to understand, like, if we are complaining about things like UI design, specific animations, and stuff like that, that's not to say the game sucks. That's to say these are the things that we have complaints about, and that's saying something about like the overall goodness about the rest of the game.
Everything else is that phenomenal. Everything else.
All right, if you say so.
The new voice.
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to watching that run animation that you were complaining about.
Oh, it's the goofiest thing in the world. Don't worry. It's just like that. Just sprinting.
It can't be goofier than Ezra Miller's run. I'm sorry. It can't be goofier than that.
It literally just you wait, and then you will send me a DM when you see it and go, okay, you were right, because I know it is. Just wait.
And if I don't,
then you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're wrong. No.
BT Maverick asks, Jonas, Swedish or Danish? I'm gonna pretend I didn't see any of those options.
Oh, that was insulting to Jonas right there. Oof. Yeah, obviously, it's Polish. Yeah. What else? I will say the only thing that I would have liked to see too in the remake or the remaster is new music. I would have liked new music.
No, we like
no,
the
not
old
to replace.
Okay.
To add.
more like an addition.
Yeah. I want that entire original soundtrack. You can't have Oblivion without the soundtrack. Jeremy Soule is the soul of Elder Scrolls games. It's going to be
Absolutely.
a really sad revelation if Ian Zur is also, not to disrespect Ian Zur and his inexplicable level of talent, but
they are different composers and they have different sensibilities, and the Elder Scrolls has a specific sound to it.
And
I
it's
think
not
Bethesda
Ian's.
should get Mick Gordon to do the soundtrack for Elder Scrolls 6.
God, do you imagine? No.
That would be kind of funny.
No, I don't think it would.
Are there any composers can you guys like name composers? Like, do you know well enough who you would want to see?
John Williams?
Unironically. Unironically.
Assassin. I would say Jesper Kidd, but
Jesper
I'm not
Kidd.
entirely sure his fit. Well, he's done Assassin's Creed for so many years.
That's true.
I don't think I could see him doing a Bethesda game.
And for me, Jesper Kidd, I always think of Hitman, because he did all the Hitman stuff back in the day. I don't know if he does the new Hitman stuff. Yeah, but that was back in like the 90s where everything was like being too big. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he did Vampire the Masquerade. He literally, and it was just him doing that with his voice. It wasn't. There was no instruments or anything.
Wait, Brad. What about Bear McCreary from God of War?
Is that the guy from the? I don't remember that soundtrack.
What? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you hate PlayStation games. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
DeMarco, do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. No.
Is that the
like,
Nice with the North setting.
Well,
it would fit well with the North. Yeah. I don't know if I would. I don't know enough of his music to say if he would do a good Elder Scrolls. I know of two that aren't video game related, but Jake Sidwell is a personal favorite of mine. He did the music for Final Space, which I absolutely love. Final Space is sci-fi, but he does have like some fantasy-ish tracks.
Help me.
What?
Pillars of Eternity. It is literally on the tip of my tongue. Who does that?
Woody Jackson.
Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Help me, Jonas. Who? Shit. What? He does amazing
Why do you expect Jonas
music.
to help you?
I don't know, because he loves music.
Is Jonas like a secretly? Is Jonas?
Austin Wintry. That's it. BT Maverick. That's it. Austin Wintry. Isn't that who does Pillars soundtrack? I'm pretty sure that's
Didn't he do Grounded?
I'm not sure. I don't know if someone could look that up, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly who I was thinking of.
Oh, he did the music for Flow.
Flow? The PSP game?
He did it for Hades too?
Yeah, Austin Wintry is awesome. Like, and dude, go listen.
Oh wow!
I have so many songs saved by him.
Here's some of his things. Yeah, he did Oh, Flow the game, not Flow the movie. Wasn't that just a movie that came out?
Flow is a PSP
Assassin's
game.
Creed Syndicate.
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Banner Saga 3, Aliens Fireteam Elite, Hades 2, Eternal Strands, Command and Conquer Rivals, Abzu, which Abzu is a good one.
Yeah.
What about
If he
Baldur's
did
Gate?
Abzu,
What about
then he
Baldur's
did
Gate
Journey.
3 composers?
Baldur's Gate 3 is Barislav Slavov. Say that
That's a
5
name.
times fast. But yeah,
Wow.
Barislav Slavov. I think Barislav, he's incredible. I don't want to see him do Elder Scrolls.
You want him to stay in his lane, or you think he just?
No, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, I don't listen to
Okay.
Baldur's Gate and go, this would be a good Elder Scrolls soundtrack. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
No.
Austin
No.
Wintory was the first one that
Well.
the first one that I thought of. He's got I have so many of his songs, like, you know how like you go through Spotify and you're like, I like that song, I like that, wow, I really like this song, and then you're like, wait, this is all the same guy. It's one of those things. Yeah, music aside, honestly, like, guys, you're listening to it right now in chat. You're listening to the Oblivion soundtrack. It's so funny. I meant to say this to you, DeMarco. Whenever I started up the game, because I'm just like creating my character, I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, this literally, this just goes to show how much the music gets ingrained into your brain. Because I'm like, I feel like I literally just listened to this. Like, this isn't Skyrim. Whenever I have these songs stuck in my head, they are from different games. Oblivion has some of the best music ever, and I thought, oh, that's a Skyrim song. No, it's Oblivion. Like, it's not. Anyway, it just goes to show how
You know who
amazing
would be-
music is.
Who would be interesting to see do a fantasy track? He's never really done one. Is Jack Wall.
Who?
Jack Wall did Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2.
Oh God! Oh my
And he also
God.
did Call of Duty. He did Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 6, Modern Warfare 3. So he did a lot of Call of Duties. He did do. He's worked with Bethesda or Machine Games in the past, I guess. Where was it? I just saw it. They did no, BioWare. Sorry, they did BioWare with Jade Empire.
Mm.
So
Amazing.
no,
That needs a
but-
remake. Everything just needs to be remade because we're running out of original ideas. Marathon
I
seems to be
nominate
Marathon
Frank
only in
Kirkthal.
name, and that would have been great if it was original.
What, the Nike commercial?
Marathon?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah,
Jonas,
Jonas,
really?
any other thoughts on Oblivion so far? Like, anything that
No,
you like?
I've literally not exited the sewers
Okay.
at the beginning, so it's way too early for me to say much more than I've already have.
Okay, I will say that in my little time that I played, literally just like ran down the stairs, and I'm like, I think this is where something. I don't want to spoil it for people who've never played it, but this is something's about to happen. I'm like, let me just save right here. But I did like walk around, look around at stuff, and it is so faithful. And again, I'm playing in third person. I guess I haven't played it enough to really see what you're talking about, DeMarco, but
Assassin, you're clicking.
yeah, I can hear Assassin clickety
Thank you.
clacking.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to change the dynamic theme for my Xbox. Oblivion just finished downloading.
Is there an Oblivion dynamic theme, please?
They announced it like a few hours ago, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, we need that.
Can I recommend what build? So I have a question. There's a build that I want to recommend that everybody tries, and I want to know what type of character you guys want to play. But one of the
Kinda
things that I
red.
love about Oblivion that I think is a lot better than Skyrim is that it does sort of play not as well as it could, but it does play into classes a little bit more than Skyrim did. Skyrim,
Right.
you could just do anything. I don't like Skyrim's system. I think Baldur's Gate has it like down, like the true D&D system of this is my class. I think that's infinitely better because it offers more replayability than if you could just do whatever you want whenever you want, in my opinion. But there's a really fun build to do in Oblivion where you take the Atronach sign, which works differently than it did in Skyrim. In Oblivion, if you play as the Atronach sign, you do not regenerate magicka. There's only a couple ways. You get it by potions, You get it by absorbing other people's spells will recharge your magicka, or you can find Welkin stones or go to Allied Wells. If you find Allied Wells, you could draw power from them. It'll recharge your magicka. But you do a strict magic build where you do not pick locks. Don't even pick up lock picks. You only use open lock spells. Everything you do, unless it's a dagger or like poisons on your dagger or a spell, that is it. That's all you do. Like, you do not use swords and hammers. You do not wear armor. Everything you do is strictly spellcasting with the Actionok build. I think it's probably like I think it's a very, very fun way to play it, personally. And that is how I want to play it when I get into it. But I'm curious about what type of characters you guys want to play.
So it's funny because, by the way, real quick, not Austin Wintory is amazing. It is Justin Bell. Thank you, BT Maverick. That is who I was talking about. Thank you. Thank you. Austin Wintory is also amazing. It's Justin Bell that is who could do an amazing Elder Scrolls. So write that down. Jot that down, guys. Everyone here in chat and on the panel, if you want to check that out, because their music is amazing. It literally just sounds like Elder Scrolls music. Like, a lot of it does. Anyway, thank you so much for that. Would have drove me crazy. DeMarco, yeah, it's funny because I love playing as a Nord, and I'm always so contradictory with my races in Elder Scrolls versus the type of build that I want to do, which actually makes it much more fun in my experience. So, for example, I play as a Nord, but I want to be sneaky, and I want to be good at archery, and I want to be charismatic. So what ends up happening is I have to really work on my character, really build skill in archery and literally all my skills. So it makes the experience, I don't have that buff, because in comparison to something like Morrowind, you really want to start off with high agility and high this and high that, because it's much more difficult to build those skills. So in Oblivion, it feels a lot more fluid, I guess, because you know that you can get to where you want to be, but I don't feel like I need to start as a dark elf just so I can be good at sneaking right off the bat. Or I don't feel like I want to play as an orc to be strong right off the bat. So that is sort of what I do. So whenever I make a class, especially with Oblivion, I always choose a Nord because I know that I'm going to have to work harder to get there. In that, I said this to you guys the other day. Maybe I don't know who I was talking to about this the other day, but one of my favorite things about video games in general, especially RPGs, is the struggle in the beginning. I'm one of those people that once I get like mid to high level, I'm like, I'm not really having as much fun anymore because I don't feel like the progression means a lot, because I'm starting to get good at almost everything. So therefore, it's just me running through, just being having like a power fantasy, I guess. So
Right.
typically I go for I'm good with melee, sneaking, and archery, and I have some magic, like a little bit of magic, and that's usually, I don't know what class you would call that. I feel like I should know what that would be called, but I sneak first, and then when shit goes to shit, when I pull out my sword, it's not because it's like an afterthought, like this is my last resort. It's because I am good with a sword. So that's just sort of how I like to play. So that's me. What about you, Jonas?
Like a stealth sword.
I don't have a
Kinda, yeah.
go-to build actually. I've played through Skyrim so many times. I've probably played basically every type of character build you can imagine. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I made this Nord guy right here, and so I'm starting with the same baseline. I haven't decided what to do with him. He's running around with the sword you pick up at the beginning right now, and a shield. We'll see if we'll stick to the sword and board for now, or if we'll try different things. But I imagine I'm going to play many different styles eventually. And just for now, I'm just going to look at what the options are in this weird marriage of Oblivion and Skyrim leveling
You
system.
know how it works? It's actually kind of cool.
Okay, let's hear it.
So whenever you level up, you still
Whoa.
gotta find a bed, which I like.
What is happening?
I think you switched microphone.
Yeah, I think your headset came undone.
There we go. Better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yep.
Okay. So the way it works is pretty interesting. I'm not against it, because I think it actually is a bit of an improvement in my opinion. Which is in Oblivion, you would whenever you level up, you still need to sleep. You still need to find a bed and sleep. I like that.
Nice.
But
I like that.
whenever you level up, instead of the game would in 2006, the game would say, all right, you've used a lot of melee. You know, you've swung your sword a lot, and you leveled up your one-handed skill, or your.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, it wasn't one-handed. It was blades, because they had
Right.
blade, blunt, and so on, which I think is also better than just
Yes.
one-handed, two-handed. But I digress. Oblivion was better than Skyrim, so there you go. But it really was. But
Yeah.
then because you level up your blade skill a lot, it would say, okay, you could put because blade is tied to strength. So it goes, okay, you could get +3 in strength, and it told you'd get +3 because you used it a lot.
Right.
And then it would say you get +2 to some other thing, and +1 to some other thing, and +0 because you didn't you get +0 to agility because you didn't sneak, you didn't jump, you didn't run, like you didn't do any of that stuff. In Oblivion Remastered, you just get a set amount of points, and then you distribute them into the things that you want.
Oh.
So
Like,
I still like
All
it
across the
because-
board, or within the things that you've been leveling?
across the board.
That was kind of weird.
So like luck is still unique in that you can only put, even though it like has a cost. So you get 12 points that you can allocate. I don't know how they chose 12, or if you could get more or less. I don't know. But I got 12 points I was able to allocate, and then luck costs 4. But you still couldn't put more than 1 point in luck, because luck's always an interesting thing. But you could put up to 5 in anything else.
Mhm.
And I sort of like it better because you're still allocating skill points, and I like that. And it's not just this arbitrary, like, well, shoot, I really don't want to put 3 into strength. I'm playing, or like 3 into agility that I got just because I ran around a lot. Because, of course, like acrobatics and athletics are skills you just do. Right? You're going to run around.
Yeah.
You're going to level up in
Right.
athletics. Like,
I remember
So now I
jumping
have-
for the first time in the sewers, and I was like, level up acrobatics. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Right.
But now
Or swimming.
now I level up and I need to put my points into it, or I get the biggest bonus in agility. Like that doesn't seem right. So I do like this system because I like putting points into stuff. But I'm curious about how it will change. I think that as you get higher up in rank, that they'll start to cost more. So then you'll be like, all right, now I have 75 skill in,
Right.
in strength. So now I can only put, it costs 3 per allotment. At my time, it only costs 1, but I can only imagine that'll go up.
Hmm.
So it's interesting.
Love that. Yeah.
And,
Assassin. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that I do actually like the Skyrim system of leveling what you do and getting better at it, and not like sectioning you off to, well, this is your build, you can't get good at anything else. I do like that because it helps with my immersion of like, well, if you do veer off to do something different, you do get better at that as well. But I sort of want to have a sort of middle ground where it's like, well, you can do that, but because you have defined yourself either in your backstory or whatever else when you started the game as a class or as a professional or whatever, you will level at other things much more slowly because you're not proficient in those sorts of things. I think that would be a much better system because you can then still do different class builds in different playthroughs, but you will have even more of an option for weird and creative builds because now you can also mix in things that you might not have done if you were locked up to a specific class.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, and so what they've done with this system, they haven't really deviated too far away from what we love about Bethesda games, right? Like, you still do a thing and you get better at the thing, right? With this remaster?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And it
guess,
doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
That's how Oblivion worked too. Like in Oblivion, only your major skills contributed to your overall level. I'm actually not sure. I think that might still be the case. I'm not 100% on that though.
I know that was definitely for Morrowind, but yeah, I can't remember if that was for Oblivion.
Yeah, only your major skills that you choose contributed. This might be different. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured that
Me
out.
neither. Yeah.
But you can still. That doesn't mean you can't level up all those other skills. Is the thing.
Right. Yeah. And I guess like to that point, like even because you can never be like in everything, like perfectly, and level up at the same time. Like you could like me being a Nord and wanting to be sneaky at the same time. It's like, well, you're gonna have to work way harder for that, which I like. And again, that just goes to a testament to Bethesda's just do whatever the hell you want all the time mentality. Oh, he went to sleep. Assassin, what kind of build are you going to go for whenever the game is done?
You mean the game that's finally finished downloading?
Just now? Congratulations.
It did.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit play as soon as we're done. As far as what build I'm gonna go for.
Buy Azura, buy Azura, buy Azura.
Oh, that's actually fitting for once.
Yeah, finally.
I'm going with the spell sword.
know.
I'm going with the spell sword.
A spell. Okay, so like a battle mage.
Pretty much, yeah. The
Like your
standard
battle
shield
first
and
mage
sword and shield with
second.
magic.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty
Gotcha.
much, yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Look, the one thing I have to complain about the Oblivion Remastered, even though I haven't played it.
It's too good.
Look, I know it's two completely different games, but the Expedition 33 devs, like, I feel so bad for them. Like, I get it. There's people that are gonna play both. There's people that are just gonna get
playing both.
Expedition
I'm
33.
100% playing both.
I'm playing both.
I'm still.
I am because
I already have the steelbook.
Like, again, like both. Surprisingly, both this remaster and Expedition 33 are both $50. Surprisingly, I just now realized that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Which is
yeah, the reviews drop for Expedition 33 tomorrow. I honestly predict it's going to be in the high 80s, maybe even hit 90. That's just my opinion. I do feel bad that Microsoft kind of shadow dropped Obsidian very, very close to them. But I saw on Twitter and I sent it to the group chat, like the team at Sandfall and their publisher Kepler, they're pretty chill about it. They're just like, hey, let's just celebrate that we get 2 great RPGs in a week. And I kind of like that. I just feel, if it was me, I would be furious, but I'm glad that Sandfall is taking it on the chin. I just feel like not enough people are talking about that today.
I think the
So
exciting thing is that you can have, like, Oblivion, let's be honest, Oblivion is just, it's massive, right? It's a huge game. And it's going to take a lot of people a very long time to play through it, even if you're
Yes.
new to it for the first time. And people will get hooked on it the way they did Skyrim, right? Like, that's
Right.
That
not
was my
necessarily
point,
going to
too.
change.
It's gonna last.
It's just so much to
but
do in it.
I
Yeah.
think Expedition 33 is a really great kind of cleanser in between. So you can be like, I'm going to take a bit of a break from Oblivion because I want to play Expedition 33. And I think that's kind of neat. And that's exactly
Yeah,
what
that
I've been
game
doing.
had me with the announcement trailer. Like, yeah, the graphics were good when they showed, and then when they showed the gameplay at the showcase last year, I was like, okay, don't need to show me anymore. I'm already in. And then they started talking about the story and the lore behind the game. It's like, okay, yeah, now I'm definitely gonna play it. And then of course we start hearing the rumors like, hey, Oblivion's gonna shadow drop this month. It's gonna be in late April. I'm like, wait. Don't do it in the week that Expedition 33, and we're here to announce that it's here today. Like, please tell me you guys talked to the team beforehand before you did this. Please tell me you did that.
I think
Who's
it's okay.
laughing now?
That's right, Todd. You tell
Oh
him.
my god, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
I would say,
My
but yeah, to your
God.
point, that was exactly what I was saying about those. There's an echo, I believe. That's
It
sort of
keeps switching to my other mic. I don't know why.
that's okay. Yeah, they're two totally different games. I feel like Oblivion is one of those games that you put like 20 hours into and then you go play something else for 4 hours and then you sort of return. These games just last forever. They're not just I mean, and again, I'm not, maybe the modern audience is a little bit different because I always hear, it's always so strange, maybe I'm alone in this, but DeMarco and Jonas, maybe because these are like our favorite games, when people say like, I've done everything in a Bethesda game, and I'm like, did you though? Like, and why would you do that? Like, why would you do that in one play? What like, what kind of monster are you?
Remember, you can do this, and you can do that, and you can do the other thing.
You can even build your own spaceship.
Exactly, Todd. So these are the types of games that everyone comes back to, even whenever they're not completely finished with them. They're just like, let me put this down for a minute, and then they come back and then they restart a new character, play a new race, play a new class, or whatever. I think Expedition 33 is going to be great. Also, they're already taken care of with Game Pass, so they're fine. They're going to be fine.
I hope
really
so. I want Expedition 33 to have at least 2 million copies sold by the end of May.
Yeah.
Because like, if the game is good, which by the looks of it, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I better see some sales numbers for those.
I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna be fine.
No, I know you're just saying that because you're looking through the Bethesda glasses, and that's what you hope for. But I'm the realist here. It's my job to be the realist. Bring you all back down to earth.
They're fine.
Or you could not do that and just let us have fun and fantasize and pretend that it's just a video.
Let us
game.
dream. Yeah, just let us dream.
Hey, DeMarco.
Hi.
Remind me again how you do that when it comes to Starfield.
I realize that it's a game that I just don't like, and then I move on. And then I say, hey, I would like to see this better in Elder Scrolls 6, and I did do it.
And not just this system, but over 100 systems.
Oh my
Thank you for that, Todd.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Which is the way you should be. Like, don't let people like bully you into being like, you're wrong. You don't. Just move on. If you don't like it, go find the thing that you love.
Red, remind me again how you, me, and Holly literally fought against DeMarco about the Last of Us Part 2.
I mean, there was never really a fight. DeMarco likes it, and that's
I think
great.
it's a good game.
Yeah. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he's wrong. I just think that's just what he likes. Like, it's just as simple as that.
I don't know.
I mean, if
I
you
don't know
like
what to say
being
to that.
blue-balled, that's perfectly fine.
I don't.
Most people do not like being
It's
blue-balled.
okay to be wrong.
I don't.
Right. Look, I should have gone off about what I loved about it so far, and I think the only thing I can say is I loved the movement in third person. Everything, it just feels like a completely different. That's what I was saying before. It feels like a completely different game so far. Just as far as just like the way that the character like moves and like the momentum of the way the character. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff in Bethesda games. I love it. And Starfield does it really well too. It has like this, like whenever you go like sort of like move to the right, your character sort of like leans slightly to the right, as an example. They sort of have done that with this as well. It feels like a whole new. We don't have enough time to get into it. Matter of fact, is there anything else that you guys want to say?
The character creator is amazing.
I will say,
right.
I struggled with the mustaches. I was like, fuck these mustaches. I hope that they give us the ability to customize.
Stuff.
Yeah.
There's no scars. I don't know why there's no scars.
There's
I
no
don't know why
scars.
but like,
Yeah.
as far as being able to like just manipulate each of the parts, like the nose, the cheeks, the like that.
It's great.
Part of
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Well.
Yep. I was struck. I was like, why can't we have a full beard? I just wanted scruff. All I wanted was just some scruff, just kind of like what I have now, but not like full on like puff beard, I guess. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to add the scruff and then add a little mustache, and then the mustache was like, I was like, I can't. Why are you making me choose? And then I make my character, and I look like the Baron or whatever.
Junkler.
Yeah, like the mustache was just did not match my beard. I'm like, I sat here for 25 minutes trying to pick a mustache that fits a beard. But I know that in the original game, from what I remember, I don't know why I'm thinking. Couldn't you change your appearance? I don't think you can ever change your appearance, like ever, even with DLCs.
Only when you exit the dungeon.
And then they say, "Are you sure?" Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right, because that's where everyone made their exit save. Like, this is where you start your character, so you don't have to run to the dungeon again. Thank you so much. You're right. So maybe I'll take my fucking mustache off. Oh wait, did it do that in the remaster?
Yes, there's an exit.
It does? Okay, fantastic. Okay, then we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. I just need to take my mustache off because my dude just looks so weird. He has like this like jaw. I tried to make his like jaw like, yeah, and the mustache just ruins everything. So I just can't. I can't do it. But I also don't want to look like a douchebag with his mutton chops and no fucking. Anyway, it's great. But yeah,
Characters.
yeah. What is it?
Those are the best characters. I don't know what you're complaining about. The ones that just look absolutely like. They need weird facial hair. Like, I love playing a character that just has like mutton chops for some reason.
I know.
Or like just the. Like, oh, that's funny.
I know, and I love that like people like you and Holly, like you just make like silly characters and you just have fun with it. I'm just so like I want to be like. This is me injecting myself into the game, and I'm like that all the time. I don't know why. I'm just such a freak for immersion. Immersion is just like, I don't know why.
No, you just want to get isekai.
Who's that?
You just want to be
Exactly.
isekai.
He doesn't watch enough anime
I don't
to
know.
know what that is.
It's obvious that he doesn't. It's not a who, it's a what.
Okay, I
You
watched
just wanna be
Naruto and
transported
Dragon
to
Ball
another
Z.
world. You just want to be killed in our world and then go straight into a game world.
Okay, like Ready Player 2. All right,
Not at
well,
all.
good. Well, look, that was it. That was everything. Oblivion Remaster. I was like, it's gonna be a short show. Every time I say it's gonna be a short show, it's not, which is totally fine. But I think we got it all out of our system. Well, I feel like honestly we could keep going, but we won't. But you can find
We
us
should
all,
play the game more and then come back next week and
and then come back and just do a
Get it out
part
of
2.
the system.
Yeah, I would love that actually. I would like to do like a video sometime just about Elder Scrolls in general, when everyone's available to do that, just like a separate thing. But it's a whole other thing. But yeah, and everyone in chat, whoever's still here lingering, I really appreciate you guys so much for being here. It means a lot. And go play Oblivion. Hopefully your download is done. I know some people were saying it's going to take them a long time because a lot of you just got off work. But hopefully you guys can jump into it.
It's a pretty big game.
It's a fucking huge. It's 125 gigs, essentially. It's insane.
It's a little bit, upgraded since 2006.
A little bit. It went
All
from
new
6
rendering,
gigs.
lighting, and landscape technology.
I think I broke red.
I'm just
Got me
like
sweet little lies,
completely. Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted by the power of Todd. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, hey, DeMarco, I guess we have enough time to say where can people find you?
DeMarco Dude on YouTube and Twitter. You can catch my live reactions to both the showcase as well as my first impressions of the gameplay. I hopped into it today. Earlier, I streamed it for a couple hours. Had a lot of fun. I'm jumping into it right now.
Yes. You also have a podcast on Thursday. You can find that link to his channel in the description
Double dip,
below.
DeMarco. Thursdays at 6 p.m. for your double dose. 6:30.
There you go. Double dipping DeMarco. It's
Double
such a
dose
great time.
DeMarco.
I seriously love your show. I'm not always there to like comment live, but I always save it and listen to it after the fact whenever I can't make it. I love it. I love it. You're so good. I was bragging on you. It was so funny today whenever I was streaming the stream. You need to go back and just go like fast forward to like the end of my stream and just like look at like the little bar or the little window to see whenever it pops up. But I was streaming your stream because when my stream ended, I was like, let's go see how DeMarco feels about this. And I was streaming your stream on my stream, watching you break it down because I was like, he's so good at just talking by himself and just breaking everything down. And I was like, is this bad? Is this like immoral for me to be like hijacking your content? And I put my bar underneath yours as if we were there together, and people in chat were like, wait, is he not actually there? I'm like, no, he's not. But I started feeling bad. I was like, I feel like I'm like hijacking your content or whatever. But anyway, it was great. It was great to break that down. So yeah, go check out DeMarco on his channel. Link in the description, please. Slowluck says, "What's the next topic?" The next topic is we're gonna play the game. Jonas, you're on Twitter, right?
Yeah. It's not very interesting. I don't create any content or anything.
That's great.
Yeah. That's
You've
cool.
created this content. You've created this show. You've literally made it beautiful. Look at this. Just look at it. DeMarco or Jonas did all this. So,
Hey, Jonas, can you do us a favor and remaster everything on the show?
Yeah, no problem, man.
yeah, thank you. What can we do with spaceships?
What?
With spaceships.
You can even build your own spaceships.
Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. You can find Jonas in the link in the description below. Go follow him on Twitter and look at all the things he has to say. And Assassin, you are also on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
I am. The links are down in the description below. I have the most correct takes of our beloved industry.
Yeah, you're the best.
So yeah.
That was the biggest
Yeah.
eye roll I've ever seen, DeMarco.
Your eyes like came
Oh,
out
you
of your
saw
head.
that? Wait, you noticed that?
We all noticed it.
What?
We all noticed it.
There we
I
go.
thought it was subtle.
Speaking of DeMarco, I got a take for you. Or not a take,
Here
but
we
a
go.
question for you. Is there a reason you decided to cosplay as the Adoring Fan today, except you're not wearing the blonde wig?
Bayazura, Bayazura, Bayazura! I can't believe it's you here next.
Red,
to
look at
me.
him. look at DeMarco right now. You can't tell me that if he wasn't wearing a blonde wig, swirled up like Jimmy Neutron, he wouldn't make a good Adoring Fan right now.
I don't get it. I don't understand where this is coming from.
No,
Other
I
than the iconic massive sword that the Adoring Fan has, everyone knows that.
I'll polish your boots.
There we. Now he
Back
looks
up.
like the Adoring Fan. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, now he looks like Junpei from fucking Persona 3.
Wait here. What about over there? Or over here?
Bayazura, Bayazura. Yeah.
Bayazura! I can't
Yeah.
believe it's you here.
Standing
Anyway, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Assassin52. I have the most correct tweets that you will probably ever see. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with them, but that doesn't change the fact that they're correct. So, yeah.
Jesse James, I'm gonna go play Concord.
As a PlayStation fan, do not
Yeah,
play
you don't have to stick
Concord.
around with it. This
Do not
always
play
lasts way too long.
Concord.
yeah.
Yeah, it does, because
and-
Holly's always the one that drags on. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, Holly. Yeah, Holly feels better. She wasn't feeling well, so she couldn't make it. But yeah, and be sure to go follow her. Go subscribe to Holly because she's getting there. She's like 140, I think, maybe at this point, right? Subs. But go check her out. Yeah, go subscribe to her. Follow her on Twitter and all that. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. You don't have to, but you can. My link is in the description as well. And thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out again to BT Maverick for the gifted subs. That was so nice of you, man. It was so generous of you. Really, really helps. What does it help? Me stay alive. Because that's what it did. That's what you did. She's 150 something. That's fantastic. Let's get Holly to 1,000 subs. Just go ahead and subscribe. Thank you. Anyway, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you all so much for being here, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.